Hello, we're back. Ravi should kick in and all shall be well in the world as everybody joins this stream. He's here. We're here. We're all here. Hope you're doing all right. I am now, well as can be expected in this world. And that'll do me. That's nice enough, because I needed a bloody break. Thought I'd had enough. Hadn't had enough. It's that kind of vibe, you know. But tea's back. Little caffeine update as well. Hold on, I'll just turn Ravi doing a little. So I think I'm over the worst of the caffeine bit, which is absolutely super cool because it was very challenging. I'm sleeping right through at night as well, which touch wood will continue. So you might get the best version of me soon. Who knows though? Life's rich tapestry. That's how it goes. Who's a boot? Who's a boot? Leon's a boot. Nice to see you. Zoe's a boot. Let me know if you're a boot in the comments. Those are the ones that are a boot. I see there's more than them. Just them a boot. Pop up in the comments. Let me know what's going on. That'd be sound. patreon.com/cowdaily. That's patreon.com/cowdaily for all your supporting of independent media needs. Also to find out about things ahead of other people, because we talk privately about certain really, really cool things that could impact so many people's lives in a really, really good way. Morning, Jojo. Nice to see you. Where have you gone? There you are. Hello. Nice to see you. Good morning. So today we're going to catch up on a few different bits and bobs. Obviously, there's a lot that didn't make the cut because we haven't done a show for a while, and this is why I would try and do them as frequently as possible, but not at the expense of your mental health. That's not a good idea. In terms of the internet, would I bother? This should stay stable. I've been assured it will. But on the plus side, we're moving on in a couple of weeks and going somewhere where I know it's absolutely stable. So I'm just looking forward to like banging them out from that. Not banging your nan out or anything like that, just banging out the shows, man. I said nothing when they came for Andrew Tate. I said nothing when they came for Russell Brand. I said nothing when they came for Lawrence Fox. And I remain perfectly comfortable with all of those decisions. No particular reason, I just wanted you to know. I need tea. Man, I'm absolutely rinsed. Nice to see you, Duncan. He's popped up. Kirsty Bridges in the house. Nice to see you. Hope I've missed anybody, but a lot to get through. So I'm going to jump to that. So there's a video I want to play you. It's from Martin Ford. Do you remember the Ford report? And do you remember all that like Labour Party stuff that people were telling us to give it a rest about last year? Well, let's dip into that one. Just to the give it a rest crew about COVID, it's not going to happen. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry one little bit that you are really uncomfortable with reality. There was a couple of people yesterday, and I really don't care. I need you to know that. Doesn't mean I don't have all the love for you and all that stuff. Kind of do. I mean, that's hold you in positive regard still. But get away to fuck talking to somebody who's been through what I've been through and expecting us to like shut up or even tone police how I talk about what happened. As you may see on those threads, the vast majority of people are sharing their stories. And then you've got these fucking EO fucking dafties giving it the big one. Just, if you didn't like it, just gone away. Things change, man. The only thing that stays the same is change. And in 2024, I'm just going to say whatever the fuck I want, as usual. And I've said this many times. If you stick around long enough, I'm probably going to piss you off at some point. It's just going to happen. I've acknowledged that that's my personality because I just cannot lie. I can't play guessing games. I can't play a game of charades, and I'm not doing it. So for me to shut up, that's what you're effectively saying. Come and play this game of charades. Nah, you're all right. Anyway, we're going to talk about Martin Ford, weren't we? So Martin Ford states that Diane Abbott has yet to receive an apology from the Labour Party for the clearly racist messages sent by right-wing staff members. This is previously before the Ford Report. Also check out at JRC1921. Fantastic work from that account. Big up. Anyway, this is what Martin Ford's saying. I may or may not cut in if I get aghast because I haven't actually watched the whole thing yet. Carrying on.
It was found that they had said that Diane Abbott, quote, literally makes me sick and is, quote, truly repulsive. There were, as I understand it, other things written about her. What was your conclusion about those remarks? Could they be characterized as racist, or were they just rude or offensive?
Well, again, we really had to look at the kind of, the banter defense, because people will say unguarded things in WhatsApp groups they might not say to somebody's face. But as a lawyer, I'm actually very impressed and place huge evidential weight upon what people say in a private setting to like-minded people, because I think that's when the truth comes out. And we describe the attitude towards Diane Abbott, whatever you might think of her politics or her competence, as exhibiting what we described as visceral disgust. And it was clearly racist. We said that we didn't see any evidence of white male politicians being described in that way.
Right, I am going to cut in at this point, and this is a message to all of those absolute rotter bags, especially the ones who get on our social media, who seem to think that all of this is just fine. Do you remember the Ford Report times and the amount of shite that I was copping for even talking about it, off like, shut up, you'll let the Tories in? What, you want to let the racists in, the other racists? Like, fuck off, man. There has to be a time, right, where a line gets drawn, and that time's been, but it's definitely at this next election. Vote Green, man. Do it unapologetically. They've got some good policies, and they're far better than the other party of racism. Anyway, here's Martin Ford.
And I think to this day, and I'm happy to be corrected, she's yet to receive an apology from the party for those messages, which I have to say I find quite astonishing.
Yes, so do we, Martin. So do we. Mad, isn't it? And I mean, you see, like, the shit that some of these have been coming out with, like Starmer and whatever, this past week or so, and they're all like, "Oh, it's really terrible," and Rayna's like giving it the whole, "Yeah, we should restore the wet blanket," and all that. A lot of them can fuck right off. And also, as well, just on the flip to this, I think she should take the whip back, just like Corbyn would. So, what's happened to her is absolutely fucking disgusting. But, like, there's no, like, taking your party back because it was never really yours. There's always been this shit going back to the 80s, throughout its bloody history. Spook Central, in some respects, parts of the Labour Party in that. So there's a lot of different places. Spicy. Anyway, flipping the script, at PG Dines on Twitter, it's predicted that 3 billion, that's 3 billion people, will live in uninhabitable zones in the black areas on the map you can see. So for audio people, that's across sub-Saharan Africa, right across Asia to the north of Australia and Papua New Guinea. So it'll be all like the Northern Territories, obviously, Croc country, and also top end of South America as well. So that's nice. Fantastic. Uninhabitable. So what happens? And this is what's happening now, right? And it's a thing that a lot of people miss out in their really bad faith analysis, unsurprisingly. Climate change is real. So far-right social engineers have had to try and make it so climate change isn't real in the minds of Yanana. So what that means is when people who happen to be black pour, in their words, over international borders, they're doing it because it's already in large part uninhabitable in the sense they can't grow crops. So what would you do? I'd do exactly the same. They talk about fighting age men. That's part of this GB News narrative too. Guess what else they mean by that? Physically fit. Guess why they're the ones that tend to go on this arduous desert crossing, sea crossing, like like means to try and get some money to survive and send it back to their families. So here's the thing. Far-right social engineers have been demonizing refugees because they know what's coming. Look, oil companies have known about climate change since the 1950s, right? Open and shut case. They've known. These should be brought up before international criminal courts for all of the fucking absolute turmoil this is putting on people. So whenever you see a refugee, remember this map or send this to your nana. That's the reason why. It's quite simply becoming uninhabitable. And throughout history, as we've seen, if things become uninhabitable because of things like this or war or any other reason where it's unsafe, people are going to leave. So that's what we've got with like this anti-refugee thing and anti-refugee demonization. Just on that, I want to biggies up as well. Thank you as a community for helping that young lad from Eritrea, an autistic lad who is obviously a refugee. Eritrea being a big place for runners, like world class, like Haile Gebrselassie and all that. And my friend told us that it's a person that she's working with, and he doesn't speak very much English, but is just absolutely obsessed with running, wants to be part of running and all that. Pleased to tell you, like that's happening. And my friend was telling us that she was speaking to him yesterday with a translator. It's fantastic, isn't it? Might put a call out in the future. Anybody's got any like running kit, things like that. We'll see if we can get the lad kitted out and just welcome him to Newcastle or welcome him to the country, because I know we're an international community. So as an international community, we'll welcome the lad to which will be tremendous. Starting to get janky internet and I'm fucking furious. So it's back pretty much straight away. Hopefully it continues that way. Take some comments. Who's a boot? Slaz, it's back. Shazbot's in. Nice to see you, mate. Good to see you. Jez Hunt's in. The right have started to shift their narrative in climate change now. They've stopped denying it, but now rather than doing anything about it, we just have to live with it. Strange enough, we're coming on to something else that we're supposed to have to live with in a bit, sir. So we'll see the parallels, and they're really rather stark. Dave Slaz in the house. Ari all sorts of late rival. Just got back from the docks. Got to send sputum sampling. Oh my God, sir. Firstly, I hope it's all right. Things go well for you, and it's now to Raj. Have I missed anybody? Joanne G, nice to see you, pal. I think that's all for now. Need bother. Right, what we got? Bing-a-ling. Right, just another update on a story that we've been covering on and off for a while. That is Peter Thiel and his involvement, not just in media, by funding people like Russell Brand to be a mouthpiece to bring people towards right-wing ideas. He's also at the behest of Peter Mandelson, somebody I'm sure none of you have ever heard about if you listen to this, getting him the NHS data contract for his company Palantir. So on the screen for audio people we have, and this is from R Thiel Watch, which is obviously Peter Thiel Watch on Reddit. Palantir using tech to make starvation an arm of war, pictured in Israel. So this is a photo from January when Palantir held its board meeting in Israel and confirmed their partnership with the IDF. In my earlier post today, it referenced a report from the UN that confirmed that the famine and starvation and humanitarian crisis in Gaza are all man-made and, yes, deliberate. CARP claims that Palantir is reflecting Western values by materially supporting Israel, but starving civilians as an act of war is barbarism. It wasn't just the gas chambers that horrified people when they were exposed in the Holocaust. The images of widespread civilian famine remain as evidence of the worst war crimes ever committed. The acts of Netanyahu have no place in society. Indeed, here's one for you, Awakening Wonders. Your man there funds your man Russell Brand. You tell me, right? Is he talking about Peter Thiel still? He's not talking about Peter Thiel. How strange, or not, as the case may be. So just want a little nugget that I wanted to throw in for you there to show you how deep this goes. Is Brand even talking about Gaza or anything? Like, I don't watch him enough to understand what the crack is, but like, Is that even a thing? Gareth McDonald says, nice to see you as well, pal. This is like watching an abusive husband, Israel, beating his battered wife for 57 years, Palestinian territories, because she dared to do to him what he's done to her every single day since 1967. It's not a bad analogy. Not a bad one. It's bloody, it's just savage, isn't it? And it's also so messed up with this diagonalism where you have people being paid who ostensibly are meant to be like the awakened and we're all one. Whilst he's taking money off a person who's benefiting from genocide. Well, Russell Brand. Jez Hunt. The footage come out of Gaza of starving kids is fucking heartbreaking. True story, my friend. And I just got to the point, like, as well, where I had to tap out for a week or so. Also, it coincided with my parents visiting as well with my nephew, which I hadn't seen for a while. So I just decided to tap out then. And I tell you, really good idea for a tap out from time to time. I just wouldn't allow myself like a weirdo. Anyway, on the screen from Dr. Cheryl Stroshine. Remember the AIDS crisis? First, the minimizers said it didn't exist. Then when patients got louder, they tried to demonize them. That's now. AIDS activists didn't give up. They acted up. Something similar happened yesterday with Long COVID Awareness Day. Keep acting up, everybody. Watch a documentary called In Love and Anger, and it's about ACT UP in the 1980s, and the parallels are absolutely stark now with COVID reality, the reality of what's going on with COVID. Now, you know, if you've been here a while, you'll know that the damage that it does. You'll know that I was one of those people, a casualty of the early part of the pandemic. And you'll also know I'm not fucking shutting up about it at all. And I won't be policed out of that or tonally or otherwise. Because this is not just clinically vulnerable people. And we need to get away from this now. Like, what is this, year 5 of the pandemic? Just everybody's susceptible now. One thing I really wanted to do today is acknowledge that there has been a shift in how we communicate about this. You can just go look at the comment section on our Facebook page. So many people sharing their story. And do you know what it is? And I've said that to a couple of people. If people share their stories, I guarantee just on the weight of numbers that get on there, because most people just read, they don't like comment or anything like that. I guarantee you've helped somebody by doing that. So thank you. I respect you immeasurably for doing that. Also in these type of times. Also, I thank everybody who participates there for allowing it to be a land of nuance. It's very rare that we get dafties on there. We'll be naming one of them in a bit. Fuck your life, pal. I don't even fucking it. Watch what happens. We'll be naming people in a bit. But my point is here. There's so many parallels between what went on in the 80s and what's going on now. We're in for a long haul, and we're going to be and are being demonized. Chief demonizer in chief, Dan Wooten, ghoul of the far-right tabloids, on Long COVID Awareness Day, right? On Long COVID Awareness Day, tweet, long COVID never existed. Now, this is an exercise in how propaganda proliferates. And if you're a regular listener or watcher, you'll know we'll talk about this a lot with the likes of when something's said on Joe Rogan or Russell Brand says something. Give it a few days and this happens. So this is Mark Cope. That's Mark Cope. Did I mention his name's Mark Cope? Long COVID doesn't exist. It never did. This was our Facebook page yesterday. Side effects of the vaccine is what we should be talking about. You'll find it out soon enough, Mark. Good luck, was my restrained response. Thanks for Ian Hobson for trying to run interference and make out like I'm a really measured person. The only thing that stopped anything going on there was community guidelines. And they don't exist in the real world. So I'm telling you this, right? Anybody at all at this point wants to try and disrespect us, the people who are going through it, people who went through it, who are fucking fighting for themselves and for everybody else, or anybody at all with this fucking denialism. You want to hope it's fucking online. Facts. Now fucking shut your fucking mouths. And I class the same fucking people trying to like be all like, oh, I'm sick of you talking about this. Fuck off. It's ongoing. Who else is talking about it? Go elsewhere. We're building a new community now. You're either part of it or you're not. And that's a fucking fact. And it's based on evidence. I don't want to fucking hear this Mark Cope level fucking, let's talk about the vaccines. Dude, if I was to talk to any of these fuckwits about the vaccines, it goes straight over the fucking top of their heads, and then they start talking about immigration or some shit. They're absolute fucking idiots, man. Total and utter bellends. Mark them off with anti-vax, anti-refugee, anti-fucking all of it, man. It's the same old shit, and there's never been a more mentally controlled group of people than this. And do you know what else, right? Start of the pandemic, these type of people, they were abnormalized for having like weird, unevidenced views. But guess what? Society now mirrors exactly what they wanted. And the people who've went along with that have participated in facilitating that, because we can stop this at any time. And I get that, like, this is maybe tough love for some people, but it's a fucking fact. Like, no lies are being spoken, man. And it's just like unfucking believable, right? That people who've been damaged by this virus, which has been allowed to let rip, have been rope-a-doped like this. That's all this is. It's all it's ever been. People like Peter Thiel infecting the conspiracy scene to shape it, to act as a messaging device to destabilize structure and things that don't benefit far-right libertarian billionaires. That's literally it. These people are fucking being used by these people and manipulated by these people. And I feel empathy for them up to the point they start trying to deny what happened. I got long COVID before there was any fucking vaccines, man. These people are fucking dumb. Do you not have a calendar? You fucking absolute weapon. I swear to fucking Christ, I beg people have this energy if they bum into it. Because this is what you fucking look like. Viruses don't exist, important doctor. Shut your fucking mouth, man. They're being paid now. And if they're not, they're the biggest mugs on the bloody planet. Nah, I'm having nobody talk to her like this. And I know people who stand alongside us, I have nobody talk to them like this. You seem to misunderstand what this fucking is. Anyway, so on screen, there's a cartoon of a young lady walking with a stick. What it says is, what gets me about my disability isn't that I can't do things, it's that I don't know if I'll be able to do things. Doing a thing can either put me in bed for days, it could be totally fine, no big deal, or randomly make me feel better. 24 hours later, the rules change again. Do you know what it is, right? That one paragraph describes like the overarching like long COVIDness of it all, and you know, talking to people who have a variety of different things that they work with and live with, they're saying the same. Like long term, you know, it's like that's how it goes. It just, the rules change every day. I think that's what people talk about when they talk about like how many spoons you've got and spoonies and all of that, you know. Now there's something I wanted to own, and I'm by no means the worst or anything like that, but looking back, I sympathized with people who had health issues, but I didn't not empathize. But this is like a new, deeper thing because I've some lived experience, and it's like I've been saying, man, like no matter what it takes, I'm going to stick with this fight, because people just get let down all the time, don't they? And I know how it felt when I was let down when it happened to me. And I just can't be that person. And I'm blessed that there's so many of you listening to or watching this who feel the same. And now is our time, because if you've got ghouls like Dan Wooten, that absolute fucking cunt, like who's saying things like that, you know the fix is in. You know the next thing that they're going to try and deny is this. And it's the same play as climate change. It's the same talking heads and the same fucking wankers. In the post, Russell Brand and Rogan will be saying some shit as well. So all I'm saying is, right, strap yourselves in. It's about to get really fucking hurtful. But fortunately, the knives will be out both ways if people want to play. So don't be scared, grot bags. We'll kill them. No, don't be scared, grot bags. We'll murder them with words. Anyway, I've spent hundreds of hours in the microscope looking at the worst viruses can do to the brain, including the Zika virus, HIV, flu, and others. I've never seen the type of damage SARS-CoV-2 leaves behind after infection with other viruses. That's Danielle Beckman, neuroscientist specializing in high-res microscopy. Worth a follow, actually, on your Twitter. Just wanted to share that quote with you because quite obviously that's not like... that exists. I mean, what's under the bloody microscope? The flat earth microbes or something? Like, what the fuck are these absolute numpties talking about, man? Anyway, a drink. Fucking divvies, man. Come, talk to us, watch what happens. Now, what happens is, right, on Long COVID Awareness Day, in the news, at the top of Google now, and if you go and Google it, it'll be there, in The Guardian, time to stop using terms long COVID for symptoms like those after flu, study finds, right? The article itself pretty much contradicts the headline, but that's not the bloody point with propaganda, is it? So people just be reading the headlines going, it's a load of shit. And what else that does, it plays in to people just, it's pushing against an open door. People want confirmation bias, which means they don't have to change. The change that people are being asked to do here is too jarring. It's not between, like, say, 1 to 5% incremental change. It's a lot of change. And most people can't. So they'll look at things like this. But not only that, a version of that was in the Telegraph as well. So those are the things that now, today, if you go and just do a search for long COVID, those are the things that you will find. And that's deliberate. That was coordinated on Long COVID Awareness Day. It's like climate change. There's a huge weight of medical opinion who, well, quite clearly it's bloody real. Jesus. Like, we get dragged into these like badly framed debates where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just arguing like reality with you. People who are just outside of this just want mocking, like, at best, because I swear to you, this fucking shit does not fly. We're not hiding, man. Ever. But one of the good things was Science magazine published on Long COVID Awareness Day the truth. So long COVID affects people of all ages, including a myriad of post-acute and long-term adverse health effects caused by the infection. A recent Science perspective highlights the efforts made to understand this growing public health concern and what is known about the condition and its wide-reaching effects on the risk of development of other chronic diseases. If you want to know more about it, go to previous shows. You'll find what you seek. Somebody shared this after I did, called Richard Wood, and he said, I've had to Google a lot of the words. So I had a bit of dialogue with him. And I've been working on, like, obviously a guide, doing it like in whatever spare time I've got, really, around other work. So it'll come out when it comes out. But that is something that I think is really important, like a short guide which demystifies the medical terminology and just tells it straight. This is the problem. This is what's happening, and this is what's being done about it. It would be helpful as well if you do us a favor. My computer has frozen. Oh my fucking God. Is it back? Is it not back? If you can still hear us, let us know in the comments and I'll come to it when I can. Oh, this fucking can cock right off. Anyway, I'm going to bring the show to an end because quite clearly the internet isn't working as well as it should be. Been really great to see you. And I'll catch you all next time. Hopefully, if I can end this stream. Absolutely unbelievable. Kidding.